Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, and when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. So today, I want to talk about retained earnings for the sole proprietor. So sole proprietor or single member LLC. Okay, for as tax treatment goes, is still the same. Okay. How did I get here? So this topic, I actually was having a conversation with a budget specialist, and we were talking just about, really helping solopreneurs manage their money. And this is one topic that I have not discussed. We talk about, first of all, making money. We talking about, saving money for your taxes, reserving your tax funds in a separate account. But now we're going to talk about retained earnings. Okay. So you mostly hear about retained earnings as it applies to a corporations. Corporations have retained earnings, a separate retained earnings account. There's actually limits on how much a corporation can have in retained earnings. So in a corporate sense, retained earnings is the amount of money that is set aside, that is not paid, it's not taxed, it's not paid to shareholders, salaries or dividends or anything like that. Okay. But a sole proprietorship, you can have retained earnings too. Okay. But for sole proprietors, it's more like a savings account. Okay. So for sole proprietorships, the money that you earn is going to be taxed. Okay. So whatever is left over as your net profit, that is what is considered your salary. That's what you're going to be taxed on. You're going to pay your self-employment tax on. So all the money that you get, net profit, is going to be taxed. But that doesn't mean that you got to go spend it all. You can actually reserve money in a retained earnings account that's going to help you build the wealth of your business. Okay. So as a sole proprietor, we're keeping track of our income, keeping track of our expenses. Totally got it. Okay. You create that profit and loss statement and all of that, which is great. And so as sole proprietors, also, we don't have shareholders and, investors and all of that. So the only person that's really going to be handling all this that money is due to is you, right? Unless you have, employees or anything like that. So you have either, you're going to have your income, your gross income. You subtract all of your expenses. You've got your net. That's what you're taxed on. But I'm going to challenge you to start reserving some of that money in a retained earnings account. Your retained earnings account, that's what you're going to build up. That's going to be basically like your savings account. And the bonus of this is that, when you build up that retained earnings account, it's something that you build up over time, so that if you need to make an investment in your business, you're not automatically running up a credit card debt or a line of credit and all of that. And in the time of this whole coronavirus pandemic, people with lines of credit that weren't being used, all of a sudden they looked up and that line of credit was gone because the, banks were like, okay, we're shrinking down the possibility of you running up a bill that you can't pay, right? And so when you have retained earnings, that's what this money is for. It's for you to have money to invest in your business, so you don't have to run up a debt. It's for you to, whether you're buying new equipment, you're expanding, or you're just building the wealth of your business, so that in times like these, instead of, oh my gosh, where's my next dollar going to come from? You have money already saved up in your business to keep you afloat, so that, when these pandemic type things happen, you already have money available to use, whether it's in your business or in your home, because this money has already been taxed, right? You've been taxed as a sole proprietor. You've been taxed on this money already. Since you've already been taxed on this money, you have options. You have options of what to do with this money. So this is why I'm going to encourage you to start your retained earnings. I recommend setting aside 10% of your profit. Even if you don't have 10%, you might have 5%. Whatever that looks like for you, but start the habit of saving your business funds. Okay. So what, like I said, so when things, when disaster strikes, you've already got a cushion to lean on instead of, all of a sudden being desperate for a sale, or, all of a sudden your sales are gone and then you can't eat. And a lot of times, what I see in the sole proprietor community is, first of all, there's no management at all. There's no bookkeeping. Okay. I see it all the time. And then, all you see is you go look in your bank account and say, oh, I have money. I want this. And then you just go spend it without really doing any type of planning whatsoever, no budgeting and all of that. So, and a lot of times people hear the word budget and automatically think restriction, but that's really not what a budget is. That's not what a business budget is. A business budget is you assigning dollars. You are giving each dollar a task. You are giving each dollar a home. And then have, once you have assigned those dollars, and then once you exhaust that, then it's off, right? You have to set limits with yourself. You don't just keep, digging deeper and deeper and getting into debt just to get the things that you want. You have to have a plan. Okay. So and so you can budget for your retained earnings as well. You can assign dollars to your retained earnings so that you go, hey, 5% of this revenue is going to go here in this account. Okay. And then you don't touch it. And so, like I said, then when you need to expand, or if you need, funds in the case of decreased sales and all of that, then you have somewhere to go, and it's not going into debt necessarily. Okay. So that is my charge to you, is to start, planning on saving some money, right? I know that in the beginning, I hear people say, I'm just reinvesting in the business, reinvesting in the business. Well, you need to be saving some money too. It's not necessarily a good idea to just constantly spend more in your business. You need to learn how to operate a lean business. Okay. So you keep those expenses low so that you can grow the wealth of your business, so that if you need to hire an employee, that you already have money available to get them started. And so once they, are full and operating in your business, you should be getting a return on investment in that employee. They should be handling work that allows you to go out and bring in more revenue for that, to cover the expense of that employee and still build the wealth of your business. So a retained earnings account, a savings account, is a fantastic idea. Okay. So what do? You can set up a separate account, with these. You can set up a separate bank account that you designate as your retained earnings account. Okay. So, and then once have your revenue comes into your one bank account, all of your revenue should be coming into one bank account. Okay. I get it. We got multiple streams of income. Whoo, thank you, Jesus. We got all this revenue, right? But all of your revenue should come into one place and then be distributed out. It should be distributed to your tax account, distributed to your retained earnings account, distributed to your salary account, so that you are maintaining control of your finances, and where those dollars get designated. Okay. As a business owner, you should know how much money you're making and where that money is going. That is basic bookkeeping stuff. And then once you do that, you can start setting aside those dollars to save dollars, to start creating that cushion. Now, you might not have some mountain of money after a year. Okay. But I'm going to encourage you to be patient. Okay. And then continue to discipline yourself to reserve these funds, because when you really need it, then it's going to be there. Okay. So I hope that gives you some food for thought, something to chew on. If you're not saving money in your business, I guarantee you will learn the lesson that this is something that you need to do. Don't learn the hard way. Just go ahead and prepare, because even, this coronavirus pandemic absolutely caught people off guard. Learn the lesson, because there will be another disaster that strikes. It's only a matter of when. Okay. And so the question that you have to ask yourself is, are you going to learn the lesson from this one, or are you going to wait and take the test again the next time something happens? Okay. I pretty much, I'm a one hitter quitter kind of girl. I'd rather learn the lesson now and prepare. So when something like this happens again, we're not struggling and scrambling and trying to figure out where money is going to come from. Okay. So thank you guys so much for tuning into Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, and you can come right here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right. Have a great day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.